Hello again, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to Building Character with Logan. That's me. I'm Logan from the Story Told podcast. We are proud members of the D20 Radio Network. We're happily partnered with Fool's Moon Entertainment and affiliated with Metallic Dice Games. If you go to Metallic Dice Games, enter the code StoryTold10 into your order, you'll receive 10% off. The dice are really cool, guys. I know I plug them all the time because I believe in them. They're awesome. I got to finally meet them in person when I went to PAX Unplugged, and they were just as amazing in person as they are online, and their product is top notch. I can't speak highly enough of it. Okay, so today we are at Building Character. I can't believe I've been doing this for what? This is my sixth one, I think. Pretty awesome. Be sure to check out the blog posts on Mondays. I do a little bit more of a rambling on my thoughts about the character and the process and all that stuff, and that's a lot of fun. Tonight we are going to be making a character from Force and Destiny. This is Star Wars. This is the Fantasy Flight Games version of Star Wars, which uses more or less their Genesis role-playing system that they later rewrote into a more generic system. And I use air quotes there because it's meant to be this modular system that you can adapt to whatever you need it to do. But you kind of first saw it with Star Wars, as far as I know. I'm sure I probably have part of that wrong, but I'm in the right wheelhouse, I think. Anyways, we're going to make a Force and Destiny character because if I'm going to play Star Wars, I want Force powers. I'll own it. I'll own it. So, I've always liked Star Wars, and during the height of the pandemic, I decided to get every book for this, and I kind of got a little fixated. I'll own it, and managed to track them all down. It was a little difficult at times. I even had one book. I believe it was I think it was the Rebel book, the white ones, that I had imported from Canada, and I'm not proud to admit that, but it happened. So here we are now. I have them, they make me happy, and my collection is the better for it. Okay, so with this, you'll see the character sheet that we have right here. And I'm not sure what I want to do yet, so I'm going to kind of flip around. But first things first is you determine your background. This is basically your concept. And I think I want to play something like a force-sensitive... maybe some kind of scholar, or no. Yeah, maybe some kind of force-sensitive scholar. Someone from probably in the inner planets, from a very rich planet who went to university and kind of discovered this about himself. And I'm just looking at the chat here. Yes, I think I had some friends in Texas help, actually. My friend, I believe it was Jane, tracked it down for me when stuff started reopening a little bit, and she went there and picked it up for me and shipped it to me. And I paid her, obviously, for it, but it was a whole ordeal. But yeah, we're going to do, you know what? I got it. We are going to make some kind of treasure hunter or artifact hunter who's force sensitive. I think that makes a lot of sense. And we'll use real life to inspire the character. Cool. Okay, so I've determined my background. I've got my concept here. So step 2 is determining your morality. Morality is presented on page 48. Let's go to 48. Oh yeah, that's right. I need dice. Crap. We'll use Siri again. We always use Siri for this. So, my morality, and that I think you find that on page 2 of this 3-page character sheet. Obligations, motivations, equipment, miscellaneous. You know what? I think we're going to put it here. And I want to go random with this. So, hey Siri, give me a number between 1 and 100.
A random number between 1 and 100 is 32.
Perfect. Thank you, Siri. Okay, so my emotional strength is enthusiasm. And this is just kind of... it's a role-playing aid with the character, but it's also tied in mechanically in how you, with dark side points and that sort of thing. But okay, so enthusiasm is my emotional strength. I'm always ready to try something new, and I approach all my tasks, even mundane ones, with excitement. I think for this artifact hunter, that is really cool. Maybe he's searching for lost artifacts of the fallen Jedi Order. Who's to say? In fact, that's probably what he's doing, to be honest. Okay, so now I do have to choose my emotional weakness now, and I'm kind of like wanting to go random with this because I like being able to try and fit it with my concept. If it's something that completely doesn't make any sense, obviously go the way you want to do. Hey Siri, give me a number between 1 and 100. Really? Really? Hey Siri, give me a number between 1 and 100. She's so, like, inattentive.
A random number between 1 and 100 is 81.
See, exactly. So here we come into my emotional weakness. Like, I don't think for this character is cruelty is going to fit. So I was going to do it random, but I think I'm not. So I think I'm going to go instead with recklessness. And this just is a good thing to point out too. Like, if you are doing something random and you do enjoy that level of randomness, but it doesn't work, the only one placing that rule upon you is you, truthfully. So you can break the rules where you need to, as long as it's not breaking the rules of your table, obviously. So check with the GM before you're doing anything like this. But something like this, no GM, as far as I'm really aware, will ever be like, no, you absolutely can't, like, have to stick with it. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So, next I choose a species, and those are going to be on page 54. Now, I think it would be cool to make a human. I typically like to play humans in Star Wars, or Twi'leks. I like them too, but I'm not sure what I want to make. The book presents about 7 or 8, 12 different races. 12 different races. I'm sorry. Other books present new ones, and while use whatever books you can. I say that I'm gonna just use this core book to make it simple for everyone today. But let's see. You know what? Let's actually go with human. Let's just, like, I'm gonna be basic and I'm gonna make a human. That's cool. So species. Human. What did I do? What did I do? I don't understand what's happening. There we go. Ooh, more comments. Oscar Isaac's character so we can all drill. If I were that would be more appropriate for, like, Edge of Empire. We don't, like, yeah, it'd be more appropriate for Edge of Empire. Which I'm not opposed to doing sometime, but not today. Right now we are at the height of the Empire. Darth Vader is still around. Luke and Leia might or might not have met. This is the era. This is the time. Okay, so human. Human, there we go. I'm confused. Okay. My wound threshold is going to be 10 plus brawn, and we'll get to that later. My strain is 10 plus willpower. And Genesis has a really cool dice system. Like, it's not dice like you'd recognize. They have symbols, and you, like, build symbols to get greater successes. But it all becomes very narrative because other things in there are, like, detriments that, like change the narrative a little bit. It's really cool. Not the subject or focus of this episode, but it's worth looking into. It's really kind of fascinating. I start with 110 experience. We'll get into that later. I will note that rate. Ooh, going too fast. Too fast. Let's see. 110. We have 110. Special abilities. Humans start the game with 1 rank in 2 different non-career skills of their choice. They may not train these skills above rank 2. Okay, so you can only have a max of 2 ranks. This is fine. So, I think that I'm going to take, for now, because these could change. Some knowledge skills. I think I'm going to take lore, and I think I'm going to take the Outer Rim. He's searching for lost Jedi art. No, actually, I'm going to take core worlds. He grew up in the core worlds, and he knows lore. He's looking for lost Jedi artifacts because something about the Empire doesn't sit well with me. Okay, and then you see these up here at the top, like brawn, agility, intellect, etc. Humans start with a 2 in each of them. They are completely average across the universe. Now we know that there's more to being human than that, as Star Wars very much tells us all the time. Okay, so now I selected career and a specialization. This is where you start getting into the into like your class more or less. Okay, so choosing a career. So you have the counselor, and within the counselor you have 3 subsets, and that's kind of where you like derive like your specialization more or less. So a counselor, they achieve peace and harmony through positive discourse. I don't think that's quite right for him. I think he's more, I guess, not really interested in that. And I just lost my light again. Why does it keep doing that? 1 second, I need to turn the light on. I'll be right back. Una! Come on, honey, it's fine. Sorry, Una freaked out a little bit. Everyone, she didn't know what to do, and she's being a little persnickety. I apologize. Okay, so where were we? Fixing the camera. That's what we're doing. And we're back. I wish you could see me a little bit better. I do apologize for how dim it is in here. I will work on this and try to figure out why this keeps happening, because it shouldn't be doing that. Okay, so Guardian. It kind of like what it implies, they're a little bit more combative. I don't think that's what I want to do either. The Mystic. This could be interesting. They're... if strong connections to the Force, and they're trying to, like, be advisors, seers, or Makashi duelists. Each class has, like, a combative one there, where it's like a fighter thing. They're all really cool. They are, kind of like fighting styles, techniques, schools of thought. Really cool. It's fine. It's fine. About the light, looking at the comments. Okay. Yeah, we'll look into that, Stephen. Thank you so much. Okay, so you also have the Seeker, which has a Hunter and a Pathfinder. Pathfinders explore planets. That's actually not a bad idea. The Sentinels keep secrets. This could be interesting too. You have Artisan, Shadow, and Xian Expert, which is the combat one. Artisan could be interesting. Let's see. Warrior. Warrior is pretty straightforward too. Okay, so it's really kind of between a Seeker Pathfinder, which would make me, I guess, would give me more of like an Indiana Jones type. We could go the Seeker Sentinel, or not the Seeker Sentinel, the Sentinel with the Artisan. They're artificers, which could work for this. I could go Mystic and go with the Seer. This is a lot of different angles. A lot of different angles. Although the Counselor does have the Sage, and what does the Sage do? Many counselors know the universal truth. Knowledge is power, and understanding a situation can give one a decisive advantage. That doesn't make any sense. So we're going to go Sentinel, right? So, okay, so someone's suggesting Sentinel. So you have the Artisan, the Shadow, and the Combat dude. Combat dude, no. I think it's Artisan, though, but... yeah, I think we're going to go Artisan. Let me get back to here. Career. These, and... ooh, help if I put a space. And then specialization trees. Artisan. But I think we're going to make this more like a art history kind of vibe. I think. Okay, so we need to make note of some stuff real quick. Artisans acquire astrogation, computer, knowledge education, and mechanics as class skills. So that means and then Sentinels get computers, deception, knowledge, core worlds, perception, skullduggery, and stealth. Um, well, because of that, I am going to move that from because I get that skill as a human. Remember, and actually put that in outer rim. He's been studying space, and I think that makes like a lot of sense. Okay, so I've chosen those, but what do I do next? Well, we'll find out. Select a species. We've done that. Just... okay. Well, how many skill points do I get? That's the question. I used to know this. Oh. Okay, so I automatically gain a rank in 3 of the skills without spending experience, and I get I get a discount later. Okay, so computers, deception, knowledge, core worlds already have a rank of that. Perception, skullduggery, and stealth. Okay, well I definitely want perception, so I get a rank in 3 of these. So we're gonna go perception. We're gonna keep that rank in core worlds. And I think we're gonna go with stealth. He knows his way around a library. He knows how to be quiet. Cool. I also start with a force rating of 1, which goes somewhere. Probably. Hmm. That's weird that it wouldn't be on here considering that. Oh, because I have the Edge of Empire sheet open. Oh my goodness. 1 second, everyone. We're going to fix this. Oops. I cannot believe I opened the wrong sheet. Well, let me just fiddle with something here. Let's see. Boom. We're going to get rid of this bad boy. And you get to see the inner workings of how a Twitch stream works. Let's see. And we're going to do this. Sheets. Star Wars. Where did Star Wars go? And back to our regularly scheduled programming. This is going to be really funny for a second. I do apologize, everyone. There we go. Bam. Window capture. Doo-doo-doo. It's always something with me, guys. I do apologize. One of these days I'll do it right. Behind the scenes special. Yeah, something special, alright, and it's definitely me. Why is that not opening? Okay. Well, it's not wanting to open for some reason, so I feel like I've just totally ganked everything today. What is going on? Bear with me, everyone. I do apologize. I mean, you could just see me sweat for a little bit, I suppose. I don't understand why it won't open. There we go. Ooh, I'm getting Discord notifications. Nothing to do with me. Okay. This makes a lot more sense. This sheet I recognize. Okay. Well, let's just get this situated and we'll be right back to doing what we do best here at the Story Told. Thinking on our feet. And we love doing it. Da, 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 da. Ooh, too big. Okay. And we're back. Transition. Boom! Back. Gonna kind of just fill in some of this stuff real quick that we've already done. You'll catch up. We'll catch up. We got this. Okay, so species. Human. If it's not one thing, it's another, right, friends? If it's not one thing, it's another. What is going on? Well, now it just won't work. Okay, so we're just gonna kind of walk through this. You know, I pay every month for this Adobe, and it does this constantly. I'm getting really kind of wondering what I'm paying for. Because, like, every PDF does this. Everyone. Everyone. Okay, I think it's finally decided to settle down now. I'm not quite sure what the problem is. Well, this is fun. I'm sure this is just endlessly amusing to everyone. I do apologize again, everyone. I'm trying to get this under control. I'm not sure what is actually happening here. Okay. There we go. That was very bizarre. I'll fix any spelling mistakes and everything when I post the character sheet on the blog, so don't worry about that. Now, when I make these Star Wars characters, I know how sometimes your race gives you, or your species rather, gives you certain specific skills. I typically like to do that after. I really like to set up this base of the class, and then kind of put everything around it. Okay, so player is BC, building character. I can type. We'll deal with all that stuff at the top here later. Man, it's just not gonna like give me an inch today, is it? There we go. I am not sure what is going on with these PDFs. Wow, okay, it's gonna take me the full hour just to type out these stats, isn't it? Yikes. Thank you so much, everyone, for your patience and your humor and your candor in the chat. I am enjoying your comments. It does make this easier. Okay, so I get those three skills in computers, deception, knowledge, core rules, perception, skullduggery, and stealth. I think I'm going to go with perception, knowledge, core worlds, and stealth. Okay, so scrolling down, perception, bam. And you'll see the little green things there, and then now a yellow one on perception. That is an indicator on these form fillable character sheets of the dice you use to roll for the game. So it kind of builds your dice pool for you, so you can look at it and know exactly what you need to pull for whatever roll is called for, more or less. And let's see, career. I need to mark these two. So computers, bam. Deception, knowledge, core worlds, deception, knowledge, core worlds, which also gets a rank because that's what I want. Perception, skullduggery, and stealth. So perception, skullduggery, and stealth. And stealth gets a rank too. Now, okay, that's how it works. Okay, so the artisan gets astrogation, which has to do with navigating, I believe, navigating space. They also get computers, which is weird because I don't understand. Whatever. We'll move past knowledge, education, and mechanics. Okay, so I get 2 skills for these. I'm going to do knowledge education, and I'm also going to do astrogation. I think a guy who's wanting to um, find artifacts would probably know his way around space and understand how to navigate it. Now, I'm going to go back for those 2 human non-career skills and put that back into lore and outer rim. Again, I think it's just a well-rounded for kind of what I want to do with them. I'm thinking this more like an art history kind of situation. So we'll come back to kind of some of those abilities here in a few minutes, because next we have to invest in, God, it is like a disco ball. That's a very apt perception, Stephen. Invest experience points. So I have 110 XP to spend, and I can do this to raise a lot of different things. I can raise characteristics, I can raise skills, I can purchase force powers and new specializations. Well, I don't want to do that. I want to stick with this artisan. Um, and then I can also purchase talents and specializations. Now, I like to kind of break it down a little bit. Because I definitely want some force powers. Um, Speaking of, I need to find out where that is because I need to make my force rating a 1. And that, I believe, is on page 2. Yep. Force rating 1. Let's see. And okay, so you're looking at the book, and so I'm going to start looking at Artisan. So if I wanted to buy the fine tuning ability, it costs 5 XP, and you'll see the cost of that in the bottom right of the ability trees that they more or less have, which are cool. Some of these are active, some are passive, some have force talents, which do other things. So okay, 110 XP. Um, hmm. Couple notations. I would like to raise a characteristic. I think that is smart to do because I would like to maybe start with some more cunning or intellect. So it's 10 times the purchase rating. So if I wanted to raise both of those to 3, that would be 60 of my 110 XP. So it is very, very, very expensive. That said, I will go ahead and raise. I think I see him being a little scrappier. I'm going to raise cunning to 3. So that's 30. Okay. Skills. Skills are 5 times the purchase rank. If it's a non-career skill, it costs an extra 5. Again, I can't raise anything over 2 right now. So let's see. I do want to raise perception to 2, so that's 10, right? 2 times 5 is 10. So I'm going to add that to that. That's 40. Ooh, God, I went blank again. This is the craziest. I think it's almost, maybe it's a too complicated one. I don't know. Let's see. I think I probably want to spend. I have 70 XP left. I want to probably maybe spend 20 or 30 more and uh and XP or on skills. I think I'm gonna raise lore to 2. So that would be 10 plus an additional 5. So that's 15. So plus 15, 55. Okay. So I have 55 XP left. Let's see. Stealth is fine. Knowledge is, and education and outer rim are all 1. That's a good starting thing. Let's do astrogation and let's let him really be good at navigating that kind of stuff. So that'll be another plus 10 for 65. So 45 left. So now I'm going to go into some of my artisan special abilities. And let's see what some of these can do. Now they tell me their initial cost on here. I don't have to worry about that. Let's see. I'm going to take mental tools. And that'll cost 5, and always count as having the right tools for the job when performing mechanics checks. Now, this tells me that I should probably go and buy mechanics, and I'm looking at all of these, and I will buy a rank in it. But I'll buy 1 rank in it, so I'm buying 1, and so that'll be 5 XP. Let's see. I think I'm gonna take fine tuning. I think I see him being pretty adept at doing this quickly, efficiently, etc. Someone repairing system strain on a starship or vehicle, repair one additional system strain per rank of fine tuning. Um, yeah, cool. So this I can't spell apparently either. Fine tuning. So that's 10 of mine. So I've spent 75 of my 110. So I have 35 XP to spend. Now I'm probably not going to spend this all on force powers. I don't think. I tend to be a little happy-go-lucky with powers. So let's just see what we have here. That said, too, they are also extremely expensive. The initial power, the initial impetus, costs 15 points. So let's see. We have battle meditation, which I don't think that's. We have bind, which is telekinetic powers. I don't think that's right either. Enhance lets you imbue your own body with strength. Foresee lets you see into the future. Heal and harm. Influence. Misdirect. Move. That is the more like where binding is constricting telekinetic power. Move lets you like move stuff. You have protect and unleash. You have seek. Seek might be interesting, and sense. Um, yes, I'm gonna go with seek. So basically, the force power seek. The force user casts out with his mind's eye, searching for something lost, concealed, or forgotten. I think with this seeker that makes the absolute most sense. So we're going to do seek. Wrong level. And I get the seek basic power for 10. Cool. So I have 35 left minus 10. So I have 25. Um, I think I'm going to get magnitude to let me extend that for another 5. And let's see. I don't think I'm going to buy that control yet because I think it's all very new to him. So, in fact, I think I'm going to stick with that. So I'm going to go back and look here. I think I might invest 5 XP into computers because I just think that's smart. It's just good logical thinking, you know? And let's see. I kind of want to buy a rank in skullduggery, so that's another 5. I think maybe I like this idea. He's more of like a scrappier hunter for these artifacts, and I think because he probably has to deal with illicit people, I think deception might make a lot of sense. So we'll do 5 for that, and that gives me 5 XP left. Now let's see. Let's go back to the Sentinel here and see what abilities I have that I haven't bought. So I bought mental tools. And fine tuning. I have 2 others that I can choose from. Technical aptitude lets me complete computer related tasks by 25% shorter per rank in it. And there's more ranks like later on down through here, it looks like. Well, whatever. Cool. Anyways. Or I can get solid repairs. Now I have the fine-tuning repair aspect. I think I'm going to actually take the technical aptitude and make him a little bit more well-rounded. I like my characters a little bit more well-rounded in what they do. So that's like the core of this character made. I haven't named him yet, or I might actually make it a she. I'm not 100% sure on that. So, we do a couple things here. Wounds. Your wound threshold it represents how many wounds you can take. Strain threshold is the same as like wounds, but for mental stuff. Educated mind, scrappy. Yeah, exactly. Educated mind, scrappy personality. Yep, street smart. Remember, as a human, we saw this earlier. Their wound threshold is 10 plus brawn, so my wound threshold is a 12, which is completely respectably average. Strain is 10 plus willpower, again, average. But you know what? That makes sense. He's new to this kind of like space exploration life. You can study about it all you want, but it's not the same. Okay. Defense is how difficult your character is to hit. That will be based on the armor you have. Other things give you bonuses. Do that too. Your soak value is just that soak. If you've gamed for a long time, you know what that is. It's basically a threshold that something has to hit in order to actually damage you. It's like armor. Very cool. Okay, so now you choose a motivation. I'm going to go back to the random table for this. So we'll see what this is. And you have like a little random motivation table. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 10.
A random number between 1 and 10 is 2.
So my motivation is by ambition. That's cool. I like that. Oh, and that's right. The emotional strength was oh, what did we decide that was? In all the chaos, I forgot to put that back down. It was enthusiasm, right? And my emotional weakness was recklessness, I think. Yes, it was recklessness. He, she, they think before they act. So yeah, I have motivation of ambition. So now there's a thing in here. Another thing. I like these random tables. They're kind of fun. It becomes interesting because you have to like connect these dots and make it work. Again, if it doesn't work for you, don't worry about it. Do your own thing. Hey Siri, give me a random number between 1 and 10.
A random number between 1 and 10 is 10.
See, again, we're running into his ambition is not fueled by survival. I think maybe he is so obsessed with this stuff for the Jedi Order that has fallen is that he wants to become a Jedi, not probably fully realizing what that means. You know. Okay, so choose gear and appearance. You start out with 500 credits. I'm just going to make a note of this here. Credits 500. I'm probably not going to spend these because I think that's kind of what you do. If you choose to use this. Now, there is a thing here where you choose a group resource. It can be a lot of different things like a Jedi holocron, a starship, a mentor, and it kind of helps you in the story, becomes a plot point that the GM can use to do this. Now, there are a couple other things I'm missing, I think. Because I know the other versions have ones where you can get like some bonus XP if you want. We do need to come up with a character name. What's going on? Total XP 110. Available XP 0. And okay, let's name her. Let's name her. I think it's a her. I feel like she's this female, like kind of archaeologist type. Let's name her Tenya. Tenya June. I like that. I think that's cool. I think it's a cool name. I think she sounds kind of like a badass. Like, I don't know. She's a badass in my mind. at any rate. But yeah, so this is kind of Force and Destiny, and all of these Final or Fantasy Flight games, Star Wars, are pretty straightforward. I find the character creation really, really easy to pick up. Um, but yeah, let's see. There was something else in here that I remember doing. Those are lightsabers. We don't have one of those. um, I guess maybe that's something specific to the other ones. Again, the other ones, it felt like there's this thing you do, like with your duty and obligation, where you can like lower it and start with more credits or XP. Oh, here we are. It just took me a minute. Player characters' starting morality values. Although these characters may have led exciting adventurous lives, they may even have started to explore the relationship with the Force, they have not had the chance to embrace the light or the dark side of the Force. Tenya could go either way. She could become a servant of the light side of the Force and become good and restore peace to the and balance to the universe, or she could go dark and just say, let's watch the world burn and fuck it up. Okay, so you start with a morality of 50. Ooh, excuse me. 50. Not 60, 50. um, okay, I can choose to modify their starting morality or to gain additional experience points or credits with to purchase additional gear. Okay, gain 10 XP. This XP increases the starting XP the PC gains when the player selects a species, and it can be spent on increasing skills or characteristics, purchasing talents, or obtaining new specializations or force powers. More on spending XP is there. Okay, so I pick one of these. I can gain 2,500 credits. I'm not going to do that. Gain 5 XP and 1,000 starting credits. I'm going to opt for that extra 10 XP. So that... Ooh, ah. Let's do 10 here, just so I know. We have 120. Now, to do this, I have to increase or decrease the PC starting morality by 21. It gives me the option of beginning with morality of 29 or 71. Morality thresholds can be found on page 52. A character's morality drops below 30, he has crossed to the dark side, and it has something to do with your force powers. You know, I think I'm going to take my morality up, though, and I think she is ultimately a force for good. Maintaining that in the state of the universe today might, however, not be easy. So, that doesn't make any sense. One second. If it starts at 50 and I... Oh, by 21. I was like seeing the 29 and I was like, I couldn't math. Okay, cool. So 71. So she's ultimately kind of a good guy, and I think she'd probably stay that way. But maintaining a morality that high can become difficult. But she's also lived a very sheltered life where she hasn't had to encounter like serious things. So what do I want to do with this extra 10 XP? Well, that's a very good question. I'm going to look at my Sentinel kind of abilities here because I could get some grit and have more mental reserves. I could do more fine tuning. I could get solid repairs for 5 because I don't have that and then have 5 left over. That's something to think about. Or I could go in and look at force powers again, which I'm not necessarily opposed to do. Again, I like having a lot of force powers. I have 10 points though, so a lot of these are going to be barred to me. And all the books have more powers and things to do. It's really kind of fun. No. Enhance could be interesting. And it could be kind of fun to start with Seek and Enhance. Foresee. Foresee lets you get precognitive things. Influence lets you kind of like these are not the droids you're looking for kind of situation. Misdirect could be. Oh, that's too expensive. I can't do that. Protect Unleash is too expensive. Seek. I could get some control, or I could just go pure strength on that. That would cost 10. I could go sense and just get the sense basic power. Sense. I can commune a world with the world around me. Sense endless movements of the living force. I actually think I'm going to stick with just the seek power, and I think because I have the basic power and because I have magnitude, and eventually you have to get everything to get like mastery. But right now I think I'm going to spend those 10 points on strength. I think she's stronger in this than she is trained. And so she's kind of like a hammer when she needs to be a nail file or something. I don't know. First things that came to mind. Okay, so that is basically her in a nutshell. She has those 500 credits to spend, and with that, I'd probably buy some kind of blaster, even though she's not trained in them. It's still useful to have some kind of combat ability. Probably buy some kind of armor and robes, a backpack, some basic things to kind of flesh out the personality side of her character. Um, and yeah, and so basically at this point, what I would do, which I'm not necessarily going to do here on the stream tonight, is think about what planet she would come from. So I'd probably like pore over the books looking for a planet that sounded interesting, that was also a core world, because she went to university there and she studied the history of the universe, and really became fascinated with the ancient lore of the Jedi, and then started noticing that her mind was doing things that others didn't, and she could find things, and so she decided to set out on her own, um, on an adventure, and that is basically Tenya June. Um, I'm going to leave her description fairly vague because, again, if you wanted to use this one of your campaigns, I really would want you to make her your own. Um, I'll note page numbers in here and kind of what they do when I post the character sheet. I'll just get it more fully fleshed out. And yeah, I don't know. These characters are so easy to make sometimes, and like I become a little conflicted because like how do I talk about this for an hour? But you know, the technical difficulties aside, we kind of got it figured out. It kind of took care of itself, I suppose. um, and yeah, another. I don't know some of you, but hi everyone. I was just checking to see the users that were in the chat, and I don't recognize every name, but I'm happy to have you here. Thank you for being silly with me, and I hope you laughed when I had all the technical difficulties because I wanted to laugh. That would have made it so much easier. But it is a fun game. I've gotten to play it some, and I don't know. I find these character creation systems that are both simple but also narrative driven to really help me connect to a character very early on. I think that's why when I first started gaming, I gravitated so much towards the World of Darkness because it felt like the numbers that you put on the sheet actually meant something. And I see that here with Force and Destiny and all of the Fantasy Flight Games versions of Star Wars is these things mean something. Like, oh, I have in perception two yellow dice and a green die. Like that is weightier. It is more important because when you see the dice, it's like a D12 versus like a D4, I think. I don't have them handy, but it's a bigger die, so it feels more important. But then you're also buying like you have your ambitions, you have your emotional strengths and weaknesses, and conflicts and moralities, and you have your talents and special abilities, which are actual words rather than numbers. So it actually feels like if someone were like saying, "Well, what are they like?" Oh, well, Tenya has amazing technical aptitude means something more than she has a rank in mechanics to me. I find that narrative quality to be really, really, really cool. I bought a rank of mechanics, didn't I? I know I did. One second. I'll double check all the math on this too. So there might be something a little off. The sheet might differ just a little bit between now and then. So we have about 20, no, not 20 minutes left. We have about 10 minutes left. I know there's a little bit of a delay here. However, does anyone have any questions about any of this that I could maybe answer in real time now that we're kind of like just chatting one-on-one? I'll go ahead and wait. Maybe I'll put a note in here. That totally didn't work. Oh, there it goes. God, there's just a delay. I think my computer's just getting slow. Doo-doo-doo. Bam. Okay, now I've asked it both places. Huzzah! We survived. We survived yet another week. I really do wish, though, while I'm waiting for any questions to come in, that like they would make a source book for the High Republic. If you're not familiar with the High Republic, it's like Star Wars' newest iteration, and it's set like 400 years or so before the events of the Star Wars movies we all know. It's really, really cool. But what's even cooler about it is that they're doing this like multimedia or multi level approach to it. So you have manga, you have two different comic books, you have early readers, middle readers, young adult, and adult, and all of the stories are like interconnected in that it's happening at the same time with characters from all the series popping in and out, but they're just written for various different capabilities and tonally and rating wise. Like you wouldn't have some of the darker aspects of the adult novels and the early readers, but it's so cool. They just finished the trilogies for the young adult, the adult, and the middle readers, but I do know there's a new book coming out. The early readers have a few books out. The manga has a second one coming out. I'm not sure how big this is going to get, but it's really cool. The first book of the adult series I've read, excuse me, has some of the most impressive action sequences I've read in a long time. And I kid you not, I was so engrossed at the beginning of that book that I didn't realize that I had stayed up all night and basically finished it in one sitting. It was the way at which it was crafted is really cool, and it's a team of about 5 different authors that all kind of share notes and trade ideas and writing back and forth to create this big cohesive world, which is kind of like what role playing is in a way, and they're just doing it in a different format with grammatical rules rather than mechanical rules. So that's pretty cool. I don't know. I would really love them to do a High Republic source book just because the rules are there. The only thing that shifts is the timeline. I don't know. I think it's neat, and you can play with like technology and really dive into the Jedi Order. I think it could be a total blast. Okay, well, no one seems to have any questions, so I will probably head off a little early tonight. I really do appreciate you continuing to support me and the podcast. If you like what you see, please subscribe. I am working on getting better every week. The ring light situation was unfortunate. I do apologize. And the PDF, well, I can only blame Adobe for that, and I'll gladly blame them for that because it's not my fault. If you have any suggestions about games that you would like me to see make characters for in the future, please don't hesitate to stop by our Discord and ask. You'll find links across all of our different social medias and our website. We have some cool stuff coming down the pipeline. Audio episodes are still happening. The Body Electric will be airing this Friday because we do that every other week, and I'm really excited to be playing that game. I have some work to do for it on Wednesday actually because I have to get some information to Griffin that I promised him. But yeah, just we're gonna keep on keeping on. We're excited to be trying this new medium. We're learning how to do it as you watch us, and if you have any tips or suggestions, also more than happy to take those. So thank you so much for joining me. This has been another episode of Building Character, and I hope maybe I built some character through my frustrations tonight. The blog post will be out Monday with some further thoughts about making Tenya here. Um, until next time, have a wonderful rest of your night, and I will catch you on the Discord. Bye bye.